Hannah and Joey walked happily down the path, laughing and chatting like little children. "Hey, look!" Joey exclaimed, pointing a finger at a nearby farmhouse. It just stood there on the cusp of the woodland area, obscured by a cluster of willow trees. The windows were greasy with dirt and grime, and the house's wooden exterior had been worn by the elements. But there were fresh footsteps in the mud, and a single light on one of the bedrooms. A small field of sheep sat quietly in front of the property, seemingly undisturbed. "That's where old Jimmy lives, the guy who with the crooked eye," said Hannah. "Do you remember the group of kids that went missing around here? Well, I heard that he ate them and buried their skeletons in that field. I wouldn't be surprised. He's a total creep. I heard they set a whole flock of cattle on fire and let them loose across the country field. He's crazy like that, apparently." "I'll give you $5 if you go over there and knock on the door," Hannah challenged, with a mischievous grin. Joey sniggered excitedly, considering the idea. "Nah," he responded with the dismissive wave. "He's not worth the trouble. Let's check out the field. Maybe we can find some skeletons of our own." "Are you crazy? I was only joking about the $5. That old coot will probably just shoot us if we get close enough." "We'll be fine. He never comes out of the house anymore. The worst he could do is yell at us." "Right, if you're sure," Hannah muttered, still somewhat uncomfortable with the proposal. For a second she swore when she saw a pale silhouette in one of the farmhouse's windows, but within a moment it had vanished. The pair shared another crude laugh at Jimmy's expense, and they strolled on towards the field. The smell of fresh soil grew slowly stronger as they reached the splintered gate. Just before Joey could place a hand on its rough surface, Hannah stopped and holding him back with her hand. "There's something here," she said, gesturing to a beaten signpost. "Warning, foot and mouth, keep out," it read, in faded painted letters. Hannah narrowed her eyes a little. "Isn't that just some sort of disease? I don't want to come down with something." Joey sighed, with an exaggerated roll of his eyes. "Humans can't get a foot and a mouth, dummy. Only animals. We're fine." "Are you sure? Why would they?" Joey jutted around and walked through the gate, cutting her off, mildly irked, as she trailed meekly behind him. The sheep awkwardly trotted away whenever the pair got too close, backing up into a corner and bowing timidly. They seemed to only gather around the field's edges, leaving a sizable spot in the middle, devoid of droppings and overgrown with uneaten grass. "That's funny," said Joey. "They don't look infected with anything." Hannah paused stunnedly, noticing a group of fissures in the ground. Thick, lengthy fractures that were split through like dirt had broken a window. A strange feeling washed over her as she ran her fingers along the cracks. They felt almost warm, as if they were alive. "I don't like this. Something's off. This place just feels off," Hannah spoke nervously, glancing back and forth at the sheep. Was it her imagination, or they were all just staring, not eating, not tending to their young, just staring at her and Joey? Joey looked over his shoulder, approaching Hannah with a smug expression that masked his growing anxiety. "Stop being such a baby, they're just sheep." "It's not really sheep I'm worried about." Joey noticed it too. Dead silence completely out of the blue. Not even the tweet of the bird or the rustle of the wind. Along the grass can be heard the void of noise. It was almost like frozen. Joey's face turned deathly pale and wide with eyes as he pointed down at the grass. A human finger lay upturned on the soil, shriveled up and covered in flies. The skin was flaky and bloodiless, and the nail was hanging loosely by the small strip of tissue. "Those missing kids," Joey finally spoke, frozen in horror. Hannah saw the fence from the corner of her eye and gasped. It was old Jimmy, watching from the farmhouse window, with his crooked eye and anticipating smile on full display. Without warning, a Granorchon foot fell from the sky, crushing Joey like a cockroach, before soaring back out of sight. Hannah screamed, only managing to turn back towards the gate, before a huge mouth broke through the cracks in the soil, swallowing her whole and disappearing back into the earth. Jimmy stared at the farmhouse from window view, struggling to contain his laughter. With a wicked smile, he had 2 more tally marks on the blackboard in his hands. Number 26 and number 27. That never gets old, he remarked, leaning back in his rocking chair. Never gets old. What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, stay pretty.